Today's video is going to be very important because we will discuss many things in it. First, will the United States use nuclear weapons against Iran? Second, what is the role of China and Russia in this conflict? Third, why is the war between the United States and Iran, but the victory may only benefit Russia? We will also learn who Iran's new supreme leader Mujtaba Khamenei is and what kind of person he is. And the fifth question is, who will compensate for the destruction happening in this war? First of all, let us understand that with every passing day, the image of the United States as a superpower is becoming weaker. Iran is a country that has been under sanctions for many years, and the United States believed that it would finish this war very quickly. In fact, the United States also said that it would end the war soon. Now, if it cannot end the war quickly, and a country that has been under sanctions for years manages to keep such a powerful country stuck in the war, then it will appear that the United States is becoming weak in front of Iran. We have already seen something similar before. The war in Afghanistan lasted for 20 years. During that time, China progressed so much that it became a rival to the United States. One of the main reasons was that America's money and a lot of its energy were being spent in Afghanistan. The same thing happened in Iraq, where the United States spent many years in conflict. Today, Iran is stronger than both Afghanistan and Iraq. So what will happen here, nobody really knows. But one thing seems certain. The United States may not be able to win this war. Even America's own intelligence agencies published a report a few days ago, saying that regime change in Iran cannot be achieved through airstrikes alone. The United States also said that it would support the Kurdish people so that they could fight inside Iran. But so far, it seems that the Kurds may not come to fight. The reason is that if Kurdish forces enter the conflict, they could face attacks not only from Iran, but also from Iraq and Turkey. In that situation, the biggest loss would be suffered by the Kurds themselves. Now, if we go back to the first question, will the United States use nuclear weapons? In my opinion, the United States will never use nuclear weapons. The reason is that if America uses nuclear weapons against Iran, then Russia, already fighting a war with Ukraine, would also get justification to use nuclear weapons. If the United States uses nuclear weapons here, then who will stop Russia from doing the same? As you know, Ukraine is receiving strong support from the United States and Western allies in its war against Russia. Secondly, if the United States uses nuclear weapons, it would be an extremely extreme step. It would also be understood that Iran pushed the United States to such a level that it was forced to take the most drastic action. Now let us move to the second point. What is the role of China and Russia in this war? In my opinion, Iran is still not as technologically advanced, but the missiles it launches often go exactly to their targets. Many missiles are intercepted in the air, but those that reach are often accurate. One reason could be that Russia helps Iran with intelligence, such as identifying secret locations of American assets. Russia has been involved in intelligence operations against the United States for a long time. Another factor is satellite systems, where China may provide assistance. This is how I believe China and Russia are helping Iran in this conflict. China and Russia would also prefer that this war continues for a long time. The longer the war lasts, the greater the damage for the United States. In just the past few days, the United States has already suffered losses worth billions of dollars. Now let us move to the third question. Why will Russia benefit the most from this war? In my opinion, Russia could gain the most advantage regardless of who wins or loses. The reason is that if the war continues, oil supplies from certain regions could remain disrupted. Many countries may then turn toward Russia to buy oil. Even though Russia is under sanctions, when countries have no other options, they usually turn to the nearest available alternatives. This would increase the value of Russian oil, and the longer the war continues, the longer Russia will benefit. Another reason why Russia benefits from this situation is related to global oil routes. The oil from many other countries, such as Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and other Arab states, usually passes through the Strait of Hormuz. But since the Strait of Hormuz is currently closed, that oil cannot pass through this route. If those countries try to use another route, it would be much longer and involve higher transportation costs and taxes. As a result, the price of oil would increase significantly. Meanwhile, Russian oil does not need to pass through the Strait of Hormuz to reach buyers. Because of this, many countries may prefer to buy oil from Russia. That is why Russia benefits from the situation, no matter who is actually fighting the war. Now let us talk about the most important topic. Who is Mujtaba Khamenei? Mujtaba Khamenei is the son of Ali Khamenei, and he is considered to be even more hardline than his father. Many people believe that he has stronger and stricter views than his father. If he becomes the supreme leader, it could mean that the war may continue for a much longer time. Finally, let us talk about who will pay for all the destruction caused by this war. It is very unlikely that the United States will compensate for all the damage. Historically, the country that loses a war usually has to pay for the losses. So if Iran, although it seems difficult, loses the war, then Iran might have to pay for the damage, possibly through its oil resources. There are many more things that we will discuss on this channel with each passing day. And if we think about another important question, there may come a time when Iran's missiles start to run out. What will happen then? How will Iran continue the war for a long time? And how long can it keep the Strait of Hormuz closed? We will discuss all of these questions in the next video. Until then, make sure to subscribe.